Hello there, my name is Pam, and today I am going to make a wonderful dinner. It's going to be Brussels sprouts with some different veggies in it with it, like broccoli and tomatoes, and it's going to be a nice saute. And these are the ingredients. We have the Brussels sprouts, the broccoli, and some really pretty different kinds of tomatoes, assorted tomatoes, and the butter. Here we have the garlic root that is grated, and I mean not garlic root, why did I say that? I meant ginger root. We have your garlic, and here we have cumin, cayenne pepper, parsley, and dill weed. So the first thing that we're going to do, I have my pot over here, is we're going to blanch the Brussels sprouts. Alrighty, I've got a little bit of olive oil in my pan, and I'm going to add a little bit of butter. You might wonder, well, why butter when you have olive oil? But I am French, and that's just the way they do it. That's the way Julia Child taught, and she says the reason is because the oil keeps the butter from burning. Because you know how sometimes you put butter in a really hot pan and it kind of turns brown really quick? Well, this is... Okay, let me turn this down a little bit. Now see, the pan was a little bit hot there, and if I had not used the oil, then it probably would have burned. The butter would have burned. So I turned it down, and everything's fine now. There's no brown butter, which is good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in my tomatoes. See how beautiful those are? I love these assorted tomatoes. As you can see, I took out the seeds, and I just think that it's really pretty without the seeds, and very colorful and pretty. And I am also going to put in my spices. Let's see, what is that? That's the dill, and this is parsley, cayenne, and I'm not going to put this much cumin in. I just think I'm going to play the cumin by ear. I can probably do all of the cayenne though. Spices are kind of like however you like it. I'm going to stir this up, and I'm just going to let it cook for a little while. Okay, so I have blanched my Brussels sprouts for about, I'd say about 7 minutes. I'm going to put those in there. And this is where I'm going to put in the garlic and my ginger root. There's the ginger root, and I'm going to put all of those garlics. And I'm going to wait on that little bit of cumin. I'm going to taste it first and see if I like it as it is, or if it needs more. So, and we're going to cook this for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to come and just see how it all is and kind of check it out. I am going to add a little bit of salt and pepper though. This is my very first video, and I'm so glad that you all are here with me today. I love to cook. I've always loved to cook. I grew up in the 70s and the 60s, and I watched Julia Child. My mom's side of the family is French, so I would watch Julia Child and just learn from her. And this isn't really a Julia Child recipe, but I tend to still kind of, like you'll see, and if you watch my future videos, you'll kind of see that I tend to gear a lot towards, you know, a lot of butter, a lot of cream, a lot of wine. I cook with a little bit of wine, and yeah, so that's just kind of the French way. And I think all of those things make just about any dish taste really, really good. One of these days I might learn how to do the whole pan thing like the chefs do, but I'm afraid I'll end up, you know, like that, but afraid I'll end up with food all over the walls. So I just use my little trusty spoon. Never did figure out why they do that. I guess maybe it's just kind of looks cool or something. I always cringe whenever I see a chef do that. Julia Child would do it all the time. Let it just kind of stir. I'm gonna make some pork chops and mushroom gravy to eat with the pork chops. Alrighty, so this is looking really, really good. And if you wanted to serve this just like this, it would be wonderful. But I had some broccoli in my refrigerator, and I steamed it for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to add the broccoli. So as you can see, it's been about 5 minutes or so, and that I have put the broccoli in. I put the broccoli in about 5 minutes ago, and it's looking really, really good. The Brussels sprouts are beautiful. The tomatoes and the broccoli are so colorful. It's a beautiful dish, and it's very, very good, and I can really smell that ginger root. It smells so good. So this is finished, and I am going to now work on the pork and mushroom sauce. Okay, so here we are. We have a little bit of butter and oil in the pan, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my mushrooms in it. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. And I'm also going to put a little bit of dill weed in it. And some cayenne pepper. We're going to let those saute for just a few minutes. It's been about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm just going to stir it up a little bit. And I'm going to add a little bit of red wine, about a 1/4 cup or so. And I'm going to let that simmer until it's reduced down. As you can see, the mushrooms are nice and tender. And I'm going to put just a touch of cumin in there. Oops, that's a little more than a touch. All that means is I'm going to put a little extra chicken stock in there, which I kind of anticipated anyways. See, that's a lot of chicken stock. So that extra bit of cumin is going to be just fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that simmer a little bit, come to a simmer rather, and then I'm going to put a little cornstarch in it and thicken it up a little bit, and I'm going to taste it and see what it tastes like. Might have to put a little butter in there. Actually, can never go wrong with butter. I think I'm going to throw some butter in there right now. There you go. Okay, it's been about 2 more minutes. It hasn't quite started to simmer yet. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to work on the pork. And what I'm going to do basically, I'm going to take the same pot that I had the chicken stock in. I mean the same container thing, the same bowl. So I have a lot of pork here. This is something I learned from Julia Child too. You always dry your meat, that way it will brown nicely. Wipe out my chicken stock bowl. Make sure that's nice and dry. Okay. And you just keep doing that with all of your pork. I'm going to let that simmer for a good while, probably about 20 minutes until some of it has reduced down. Okay, so now we're going to work on the pork. The mushroom sauce is simmering, and on another burner, add a little butter. Tiniest little bit of wine, tiniest little bit. Oh, that smells so good. Buttery wine. Oh, my goodness, that smells good. And I have this on a kind of a low, medium low. Now I am ready to put a big giant piece of pork in there. I'm just gonna cook the one piece because I'm the only person eating, so I'm gonna cook all this later, but I'm not gonna film cooking the rest of it. But we have the one piece there, and I'm going to turn the heat a little bit higher because I want a nice brown on the outside, and then I'm going to, of both sides, and then I'm going to lower the heat so that the inside cooks nicely without burning the outside. It's been about 3 minutes, and I'm going to turn it around now. Let me see. That's nice and brown. Now I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Okay, so all together on both sides, it's been about 12 minutes. And I am going to now take this off. The mushroom sauce has been simmering for about 15 or 20 minutes. And what I'm going to do now is add the cornstarch. I put cornstarch with cold water so that it's kind of a milky consistency. And I'm going to put it in here. And it's going to thicken it up. And make it a little bit of a creamier consistency. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic salt to I'm going to add just a touch of cayenne pepper. Towards the end of the sauce is when I really spice it up how I like it. Because you just never know how a sauce is going to taste until the end of it. And there is mushroom sauce. Okay, so here we go. This is the pork with a little bit of garnishment of tomatoes, and this is my steamed broccoli and the Brussels sprouts with the wine sauce, and this is a little bit of side appetizer. This is the French bread, a little brie with butter, and now I'm going to put a little bit of the sauce on top. Now I'm going to put a little bit of the vegetable mixture on top of the pork. And I'm going to put some of the mushroom gravy. The smell is so good. I'm going to put it right on top of the whole thing. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I appreciate it, and let me know in the comments and like and subscribe. I will be uploading about once a week. This is my first video and I'm still kind of trying to figure out exactly what day I'm going to upload, but I'm going to eventually get into a regular schedule. So y'all have a good day now. Bye.